Let's go, baby. Yeah, that's what I like to see, man. Texans, man, y'all did your thing today. 37-17 took the Jags to the limit, man. Hey, I love to see it, man. It was just one of those days, man. My voice is a little raspy, man, because they had me standing up on a chair in the bar, man. I'm telling you, it was crazy, man. But I love to see it, man. I've been looking forward to this. First and foremost, congratulations to the Texans. Congratulations to Coach D'Amico Ryans on your first win of the season, man. Congratulations to CJ Stroud. You stood up, man, like a champ. And my boy, Tank Dell, man, shout out to you, man. He did his thing today, too. So let's get right into it, man. Listen, Texans showed out. They came out with a wonderful game plan, something that I totally didn't expect. Listen, with all of the injuries that's been going on with the O-line, these boys turned around and came with a great game plan. I mean, they decided they were going to apply pressure straight at the point of attack. They introduced the run game into the mix to try to kind of get things off schedule for the defensive players, and it worked. Great. I mean, listen, they didn't have a whole lot as far as the run game, as far as statistics. Um, I don't think that anybody had anywhere close to anything to write home about as far as on the rushing game. But at times when they needed to get the run, they need to get the run done at the point of attack. They got it done, and that's all that matters, man. So if you had a short third and two, short third and five, or whatever, um, and, they pounded the ball, they pounded the rock when it counted, man, and that's what they needed to alleviate that pressure so that CJ could have a nice, clean pocket. And man, did he have a clean pocket, man. He didn't have any sacks today. Just think about that for a second, man. I think I just did a video earlier this week where I said something to the effect of CJ having a number of sacks that was setting him up to have like 93, to be on pace for 93 and a half sacks for the season. Well, we don't have to worry about that pace anymore. That pace is out the window right now. Because, zero sacks is going to, hey, man, it gives me peace of mind. And when CJ had, time in the pocket, he was just dropping dimes, man, all across the field. He went 20 for 30. I think he put in, let's see, 280 yards, man. I mean, and some of the passes were some of the most beautiful passes. The first pass down the field to Tank Dell was just, he dropped it right in the bucket, man, just perfectly, just right in there. You know what I'm saying? Tank Dell caught it on the 1 yard line. They eventually got it in for the touchdown. I think that was the drive where they had Damian Pierce get it in for the touchdown. But you got to see them execute on all phases of the offense, all phases of the game, rather. Offense executed well, defense executed well. Man, listen, CJ showed up, Tank showed up, and our boy with the number 3 pick, you know what I'm saying, Will Anderson Jr., he showed up, man. He came through with a clutch block that just kind of, stole the momentum for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. He came up with a clutch block on a field goal attempt. And, he got to work on his scoop and score a little bit. But, overall, hey, we take it, man. It was a key point in the game where they got the turnover and things changed around. And listen, shout out to Brian Cashman. He's the one, I'm sorry, Blake Cashman. He's the one that recovered the ball on that block. And then later in the game, he had a pick. So he definitely showed out too, man. So we had guys that stood up in the key moments of the game that made big plays. And even in spite of all the injuries and everything that's been going down, they had a game plan that was solid. We got Jimmy Ward back, which was great to see him back out there on the field. So he was able to kind of solidify things on the back end, make sure that they didn't get too many things out of whack. Of course, they caught a couple plays on us, but it was inconsequential to the outcome of the game. And then just skipping forward, man, into the second half, man, one of the most phenomenal things that I saw, man, Andrew Beck, man. He just, the big man, 6'3", 255, out there rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, as your old boy Chris Berman used to say, man. He got the ball on a kickoff return, definitely out of position. Well, maybe he wasn't out of position, but, out of sorts with the play, picked the ball up and just decided to get to skedaddling, man. And he got going up on that right side of the line and just basically went on down there and scooted on down for the touchdown. It was the weirdest thing to see, man, because Jacksonville showed no lane discipline with coming to attack him on the ball. Once he picked up the ball, he was in an awkward position in the first place. He made one little juke, skipped past about 5 guys, open field. open field up the right side. All he had to do was beat the punter and beat one more man with, he got a little assist with some blocking down on the right side of the field. But man, it was a phenomenal play. I don't think I've ever seen a big man of that size get on down the field for that distance and get a touchdown. So that was awesome. I couldn't, it's one of those times, you get when you out at a bar like I was, you don't get to hear the call like, when you have the voice doing the call on the radio. And this is one of those times where I wish that I heard that call, man. But I did get to find it on the, I think I found it on Twitter. They played it back on the radio when I finally got in the car, man. It's kind of it was really dope to hear, man. I mean, got the rock and roll, all of that. So, you have those times, so you pick and choose what you're going to watch. I just happen to watch it at a bar today. But most times I might be listening on the radio when I'm chilling at the house, or if I'm out somewhere else with some friends or whatever at somebody's house, I might still be listening with an earbud in or whatever, checking out the game on the radio just to kind of keep up. Love listening to Andre Ware and the voice, man, Vandermeer. I've been loving listening to them since the start of this thing, man, and so it's just one of those things to kind of keep up tradition. Get to the main meat and butter of the the meat and potatoes of the thing for me was seeing Tank Dell get that long toss down the field, man. This is a dude that I've been, aside from CJ Stroud, I've been, I don't want to say that. It's gonna be a pause moment. CJ Stroud and Tank Dell have been the two rookies that I've been championing for this whole, off season. And to finally get to a point where you can start to see them starting to get it. The light has come on, and you can see them starting to put some things together. It's exciting right now, man. I mean, this is a period of time for the Texans where you have a lot of play and you have a lot of grace for what's going to happen and what you're going to see. The expectations are low because we don't really know which way we're going to go with the team, or the team doesn't really know which way that they're going to go overall. And so you have to take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to what your expectations are. But I've been watching these guys the whole offseason, been to training camp and watching them, and I know every time I look at Tank Dell on that field, man, the dude is open. I mean, he could just step out there, put his helmet on. He's open. It's just that, I'm saying this in jest, but you know what I'm saying? If you see what I see, if you've seen what I've seen out there with this dude, man, every time he gets a route, that space is open for him. And then you would think that in college, there's a different speed to the game. There's a different explanation of what open looks like between college and the pros. He knows how to get open. He knows how to cut his routes off. He knows how to to angle himself into certain positions. The only hindrance that he has is that he's short. That's it. But outside of that, he's quick, he's fast, he's shifty. All of that stuff, he's gonna get it accomplished. And C.J. Stroud has the prettiest passes that I've seen in a long time, man, especially for a young guy. And so the compliment between the two of them, man, with the exception of that dance, I think they need to work on their dance. But the compliment of those two being able to make that connection time and time again is something I really look forward to. And hey, listen, I'm not gonna say that I didn't have a couple bucks riding on this. You know what I'm saying? These guys on a couple of my fantasy teams. Tank Dell probably more than CJ because availability is kind of sparse when it comes to quarterbacks. But I let's just say I caught it on the ground floor. I already knew what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those days. So 5 catches for 145 yards and a touchdown for Tank Dell, man. It's a big stat day, man. Now, overall, it was a crazy week. I won't get into that today with this video, but I'll get into that later in the week. The craziness that is the NFL, man. Any given week, you're going to get any kind of result, man. I don't think that this game is part of that. I think that, traditionally the Texans have given the Jaguars hell, especially in Jacksonville. So, it's one of those things. We may not have any team that we take our chances on kicking their ass, but Jacksonville is going to be one of those teams. So I'm not mad about it, man. I'm glad that the Texans have something to represent. They got pride about themselves. I love it. Let's build on that, man. Let's build on that. Looking forward. Next week we got the Steelers coming into town here in Houston. Of course, that's J.J. Watt Day. Gonna have a ring of honor ceremony right there in the middle of the field at halftime. I gotta figure out a way that I can check that out because I'm not going to the game. It's one of those things, man. I don't choose to go to the game because it's a lot of stuff that's going on, and You know, a lot of stuff in the crowd and stuff. I don't want to be a part of, you know, the stuff that you saw like in the Miami versus Patriots game where the fan died, or you know, you saw it in the San Francisco game where the folks was out there fighting and all of that garbage, man. I tend to go to the games. I'm a bigger guy, so I tend to go to the games when I'm sitting up at the top or wherever I'm sitting. I see the guys that are liquored up. Sometimes I want to step in and get involved. Sometimes I want to stay back or whatever, depending on who I'm with. And I don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff, man. I got into a point where I'm just like, you know, I'm going to let them have it. You know what I'm saying? So I can sit at the house, sipping on my stuff, you know what I'm saying? And not have to worry about that. And I'm peaceful in my environment. And so I'd rather keep it that way. But that's what it is, man. So I got to get to where I can find a spot to check out that halftime presentation. I'm going to have my JJY jersey on, of course, representing and, you know, sharing the moment, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I can figure out a way. If not, maybe I have to hit somebody up and try to get a ticket, go to tailgate, something. I don't know. Anyway, man, we're going to cut this one short, man. Till next time, I'll see you guys later, man. Texas Fan in Rehab, I'm out.